Let's get ready to rumble!
Hi YouTube boxing fans, this is Charlie with Boxing Focus, my new YouTube channel with my first channel taken down. Somebody didn't take too kindly to me sharing boxing videos, so you know, it's a shame. I think everybody benefits when the fights are available online because it creates interest, and it's the live events that are the real money spinners for the sport. But as with anything, you know, people are very protective, understandably. I think it's a small shame. I don't think it does any harm. I think it actually enhances the sport when there's more available to people. I don't think anyone's interested in paying for fights that are already in the past. Anyway, regardless, you know, that's a personal opinion. My inaugural Boxing Focus video is going to be a brief discussion about Amir Khan's partnership with Virgil Hunter, who's possibly better known as the trainer of the King of the Super Middleweight division, Andre Ward. I was actually a little bit surprised. I did, amazingly, believe it or not, I can probably dig up a link. I did say on a boxing forum, probably just after the Garcia fight, that Amir Khan should go with Virgil Hunter, that he would be a good trainer for him. But you know, it doesn't seem to have been the reaction of many others. There's been a lot of dismissive responses, mainly along the lines of Amir Khan's got no defensive skills, no defensive instinct. You know, Andre Ward's a very slick fighter with superb defense. There's no way that Virgil Hunter can imbue those kind of skills on Amir Khan, so it's kind of a waste of time in that regard. But I think that's missing the point a little bit of what Virgil Hunter brings as a trainer and a coach. I mean, it's true. I don't see Virgil Hunter turning Khan into some excellent defensive fighter who can operate in the pocket and with amazing counter shots and pretty much avoiding getting hit clean. But I don't think, you know, I think that's unfair. I think that's doing a disservice to Virgil Hunter. It makes him seem a little bit one-dimensional, and I think, as is the case with many boxing trainers, single style is not, you know, it's not always the case. For example, Robert Garcia trains the likes of Brandon Rios. You know, obviously, he's fights in very aggressively. He just basically likes to pressure his opponent, get in their face, and throw a lot of leather. Then you look at also in his stable, you get people like Joan Guzman, Nanita Donaire, you know, absolutely nothing like Brandon Rios. Antonio Margarito, maybe a bit like Brandon Rios. Marcus Maidana, but look at the way he's fighting. So you know, I think most boxing trainers are very knowledgeable guys. They've been in the sport a long time, and they know how to work with in different ways with different styles. I'm sure they all have their favourite techniques and so forth, but I don't think it's fair to any single, you know, any of these world-class trainers to suggest that they're unable to cope with more than one style in terms of training and preparing a fighter. That aside, I think the reason that I thought Virgil Hunter would be great for Amir Khan is, one, he will drill some good defense into Khan, and let's face it, the knockout, I mean, against Garcia, even against Brandon, what was the Bradis Prescott, apologies for that, Amir Khan was knocked out because he was basically out of shape and his head was static. He's come in against Garcia, he's gone to throw an uppercut, his right shoulder's sagging as he throws the uppercut. That part of the neck that he gets hit on should not be available. If he's concentrating, which world-class boxers should be able to do, he's not going to get hit with that punch simply because his shape prevents that punch from landing. There's just no space. However, just if you don't see what I'm getting at, just lift your shoulder up, and you feel it kind of get close to your jaw. There's no way that a boxing glove will fit into that gap and hit the neck, so it would come up off the shoulder, perhaps clipped him on the top of the head, or perhaps bounced over him altogether. And you can throw an uppercut with that kind of shape, but it was pretty clear in the build-up to that fight why Amir Khan was boxing so poorly in the fight. He was talking about in the build-up interviews how his sparring partners weren't knocking him out. He was walking through them and he was knocking them down. He was able to stand his ground and stuff. And in the behind the ropes build-up video, there were several unreal videos of Khan sparring, and it was almost tragic, to see such a talented guy just going to war, abandoning all technique. And going back to comparing Freddie Roach to Virgil Hunter, I think Freddie Roach is a very good trainer, but I think he's one of those trainers, you get out of him what you put in. And we saw this in the recent Chavez Jr. Loss to Martinez. Chavez Jr. wasn't interested in training seriously. Roach was turning up, waiting for hours, and he wasn't doing anything about it. And he says, in hindsight, "Oh yeah, I should have said, right, I'm going home." And the problem with Freddie Roach is he's a nice guy. He's too nice, really. He's not kind of steely character required to deal with these, let's face it, these boxers who think they know everything. They're young men. They think that they're, they might, in fairness to Amir Khan, he does occasionally come across as a little bit humble, but it's just a general fact of young men, and especially successful young men. They think they're more knowledgeable than they are. They think they're very hard-headed when they're doing something. They believe they're doing it right. They're not really thinking things through. All of us have been like that at some point in our lives. And what you need in a trainer, dealing with somebody who's very rich, very successful, has tons of yes men around him who back him up all the time. What you need is somebody who doesn't mind, who doesn't have time to walk on eggshells, who doesn't give a damn about upsetting people. And can you imagine Virgil Hunter seeing what went on with Amir Khan in training, like sparring like that, saying it's okay to just walk through people and go to war with them? He'd be having none of it. He would clamp down immediately. He would cut out all the funny business in training, and that's what Amir Khan needs. There's obviously issues with time constraints on Freddie Roach, who spread himself a bit thinly, and that doesn't help. But you could see again in the build-up videos, Freddie Roach giving Amir Khan good advice, but Amir Khan's more interested in proving how tough he is, and it cost him, because unbelievably, for a professional boxer, he doesn't realise what sparring is for. What sparring is just to toughen you up. No. Sparring is for practicing techniques that you work on when you're when you're doing drills with the pads, or even on the bags. You should be working on them, or even when you're shadow boxing. It's about implementing those techniques under pressure. And the real world champions don't give a damn about winning rounds in sparring. Winning rounds in sparring means nothing. They care about making sure the techniques they have identified with themselves and their trainer to win their next contest. They worry about making sure that they have suitably prepared those techniques, so that when they get to fight, They don't have to think them through. They become instinctive. You know, you watch any of the famous Muhammad Ali documentaries, and you always find quotes of guys saying, you know, Ali never showed everything in training. He often looked like he was getting beaten up in sparring, but then he would, you know, turn it up on fight night, and that's because he's practicing. You know, even if it's just conditioning his body, but he's not standing there trading blow for blow, because that benefits nobody. You know, you're wearing a big padded head guard. Sparring partners are wearing big padded gloves. The sparring partners are generally not world champions. They're not, you know, world title contenders. They're not at the same level as your opponent, and you have added protection. It doesn't mean anything if you can take a punch clean, you know, with your hands down in sparring. You're just proving that you don't have suitable defense. And you saw Khan getting nailed over and over again when he was sparring in the build-up to that fight. I posted a video on my now defunct channel saying, you know, the writing was on the wall, and it really was. You know, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And what he needs is someone like Virgil Hunter, who just will not take any crap at all. He will lay down the law. He will drill the techniques into Amir Khan, and I do believe that he will significantly improve Amir Khan's defense, because he will make sure Amir Khan practices them over and over and over, and then practices them in sparring. He won't let Amir Khan get away with saying such stupid things like, yeah, I can walk through my sparring partners. Who gives a damn? They're sparring partners. They're not world championship fighters. I found it unbelievable Amir Khan didn't know this, and I think Virgil Hunter is the perfect antidote to the character flaws that led to Amir Khan's technical deficiencies. So I think it's a perfect matchup. I was hoping that Amir Khan, as a British boxing fan who wants Amir Khan to do well, I was delighted to hear that he was teaming up with Virgil Hunter. I never in a million years thought it was going to happen. So congratulations to Camp Khan. They've made in my opinion, they've made a very good decision, and I was pleasantly surprised that they've gone this route. Okay, guys, that's it for my first instalment. I hope you enjoyed it, and I appreciate feedback and comments, whether you agree or disagree. Those that are going to dislike the video, I especially would appreciate comments from you, because I'm obviously looking to produce quality content. Thanks for listening. So comments, subscribe if you like it. Unfortunately, I won't be posting any more boxing videos, but yeah, those are the laws, copyright infringement and all. So thanks for listening.